And hello, welcome to the next episode of Let's Play Xenosaga Episode 2, Jenseits von Gut und Böse. In this episode we are going to basically head straight off and get on with some fighting and some combat-y stuff, but more importantly, one of my favourite cutscenes in the game, where Momo actually gains some badassery. Yeah, actually there's a bit of badassery here. This is one of the really well-made cutscenes in this game, and looks visually impressive. But anyway, here we go.
What did Mommy say, Ziggy?
All right. She seemed very busy.
Oh, I knew it.
She's one of the contact subcommittee's head members. I'm sure it's a demanding role.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess I've got to do my best to help her out.
Yeah, well, you were just kidnapped and all that stuff happened to you. Just doesn't make too much sense. She's quite emotional for an android as well. Well, sorry, not an android. They're not called androids in this game. A Realian, sorry. Yeah, Realians are part humans, so of course they're emotional. Ignore that, it's been a while since I've Xenosaga'd.
Ah!
And the
What
music
the?
is awesome.
An ambush? Junior, who are they?
Albedo? No, it's not him. It's too gentle for him.
That's gentle.
It's no good on auto! Somebody drive!
Ziggy, let me go!
Oh. Hey, Momo!
I'll do it. Junior!
Right, point 2089! For it!
Okay! This might get rough.
All right! We made it! Junior. Fire extinguisher? Yes!
Painful. That's why you never let a woman drive. Oh, the sexism. Yeah, obviously they'd make sexist. The amount of sexist jokes that they're making about that cutscenes is ridiculous. So we're just going to skip over and pretend that it's all been made, we understand it, and we get on. So anyway, finally, combat time. And we're in second Miltia City. Really? Doesn't have a ring to it at all. That sounds a bit crap. Anyway, we're going to do saves, and I'm going to cut out the saving time because it's ridiculous. In fact, not this particular video, but this set of recordings will be the last one. I'm probably going to record on the PS2, simply because I don't have my PS2 in uni, and I'll be starting to record these parts in uni, so emulator time. But let's jump into our first battle
I've got no time
with
for
our
wusses
old
like
crew.
you.
Now this is a 078 Grizzly. What are we going to do for that? Well, one thing that a lot of people say is simply the boost. Well, not boost, the stock, and then just pummel out. We've all seen that. But what we first want to do is move Momo behind him. Now that's because it means that someone is always going to get a back attack on this guy, and a back attack will deal, I think, two times more damage. So you can just start hitting it. I mean, this guy's not got too much. And then chain like that, you see damage is quite a lot. just stocking with him so we can try and get the right thing, there we go, skill points. And get the skill points times 2, because it's always good to do that in this game. Although I never bothered when I first started playing this. Didn't really get a hold of the whole skill point. It's not something which has made as much of a fuss in this game as it was in the original. In the original, if you've got times 10, you know, it was something much more visible. Also, touching those revives your health. It's one of those weird. Did it revive my health? Yeah, it did. But then I only hit someone anyway. Whatever. It's one of those odd things. The combat system has changed so much, and yet they haven't. The things which are still quite important, they haven't drawn your attention to as much. Anyway, as I'm just buying a few things here, making sure at least everyone has Medica, because Medica is your cure in this game. Something to do. Also, memory is good because it memorizes every enemy's weak points. So once you know their weak points and find them out once, you'll never need to figure them out again because the game tells you at the bottom. And most enemies are simple anyway. But yes, let's see the question marks that you see there. Those are unlocked by getting awakenings or doing certain quests, side quests later on out of the 52 different side quests. Now when we get started on those, you'll know because it's immensely boring. So I will be doing a lot of cutting around. Another thing to take note is Medica 2 is obviously like the next cure. But one thing I'm going to say about is you can also do the double magic, and double magic with Medica 2 makes things very nice and pretty. So yeah, that's basically that. We're just going to go around and make sure everyone has Medica. You've got to buy the class points and then buy the skill points. As I've mentioned before with class and skill points, it's possible to lock yourself out because to get class points back, you either have to beat a boss or complete a class. Now, to complete a class, you need to buy everything in that with skill points. Now, if you run out of skill points, or you can't complete the class because you haven't unlocked everything in that class, then effectively what happens there is you get stuck and you have to wait until you get some skill points or some class points, and that takes a while. Now, status, the equip skills, is basically your items, like swimsuit here. We equip that. That serves as the same swimsuit in the old games. Like, instead of giving you an item with specific stat bonuses, you can now equip stat bonuses directly. There are no, like, in this game doesn't have any items that you can wear, there's no armor. There was a shop system in it, that a lot of people have found remnants of the code in the game, but obviously that a lot of this game was cut and scrapped down upon release because there were a lot of budget cuts with this game, and it's kind of sad because this game, it had potential, and they actually did remake the storyline, the first two games storyline actually, in Xenosaga 1 and 2 for the DS. Sadly, that hasn't yet been translated, and we're waiting on a few translation teams to do that. That could be cool. I might be helping that. But as it is, this is, for all English speakers, the official way things happened. And it does cut a few things out. There are a few things which aren't done that well, and I might cover them when we go over them, but we'll see. Anyway, I'm just stood here because I am making sure my capture card is still working. You can see how the water even looks like it actually pools around the corner of there, and that's a really nice feature. Anyway, here you can just jump into many battles. Pretty much, you can get an infinite amount of battles in here, so it's a good place to grind. And they're really easy. 200 HP, you could start taking them out with Momo one simple hit if you were lucky. Obviously, that's not the case with them, so let's find out their zones. CB is their zones. Okay, I haven't got I haven't got my book with me, so I can't exactly tell them off the cuff. But as you see there, we got an Aurora point for chaining to Aurora type attacks. Because that's another thing in this game. You've got the attributes that we've discussed before, but I may as well do that. Now, with battles in this game, I'm not going to show them all because that would be a waste of time, a waste of your time. If we get into a battle, simply I'll cut it if we've seen it before. If it's a new arrangement, I will speed through it. But there's nothing new about it.
All right, let's keep going.
We just skip to the end of the battle. But I'm going to skip the end of the battle so you can see my stat gains. If you don't want me to do that, don't bother. If you don't want me to do it, and you want me to just skip the entire thing, let me know, and I will skip that. I mean, to save a couple of seconds. Anyway, you see, you go back, you can run into more enemies, but at the moment that hasn't happened. Okay, now when you slide down here, you'll notice the game gets a bit laggy, and that's simply because I'm playing it on a hard drive on the PS2. reason for this is I'm playing the American version, not the PAL version, because the PAL version has a few problems with the battle animations and a few of the text boxes which were edited, and it was basically the PAL localization was done poorly. It wasn't particularly optimized. A lot of things were wrong with it, so it wasn't particularly the best thing, which is why I'm playing the American version, because that is the best thing. And the best way of playing the American version is to rip the disc and put it on the hard drive for your PS2. It makes things load a little faster, but it also gives that jerky effect, only on this game though. That's something to do with the mode required to make it to work. Yeah. If there's any pauses between me doing something, it's me just finding out what its weak point is, so I can kill it more effectively. As you see, that thing's pretty much gone now, and we can get on to killing this guy. So we're going to stop with him, actually. Just so we get skill point. That's pretty much battles in this game. There's not much else to say now. I've pretty much explained most of the stuff you can do with battles. Most of the stuff you can do with battles, sorry. Obviously we haven't met a big boss yet, but when we do, I'll go through. There's no strategy with. So actually, most big bosses do have some of a strategy. Like there are certain things you can do, break certain parts of them, which makes it easier for you to deal with. But yeah. So you don't go back down there because you'll end up sliding back and you'll be like, oh my god, what have I just done? But yeah, another thing is each character is given their own destruction patterns, as I've said before. Junior's is more just like a fire kick, Momo's is a hearts, arrows, which is cool. I kind of like that, even though it is a lot of hearts and arrows. And yeah, also Junior doesn't want to climb. Curse Mercies, I think, is to do with pulling out some weapons. Like I think she pulls out a few weapons from the last game that she used. I forget what Shion was. I think Shion was the same as always, and so on and so forth.
Guinan, we're headed for 2089. Tell Helmer to send backup. Hey, Guinan!
Sorry. What's your heading?
2089.
Got it. Strange. What was I just doing?
Well, that's gonna. Yeah, I'm not gonna say any more about that particular one.
Understood. I've already dispatched someone. I'll have him head to that point immediately. Damn. It's not even safe on land anymore.
I thought it would be. Actually, yeah, I can kind of see that makes sense. But yeah, back onto the breach, and we're going to see a bit more trickiness. I apologise for the ghosting that we've got. That's what happens when you use the capture card for use it for a small while, then starts ghosting. And I don't know. It doesn't look particularly nice. I imagine that's because of I don't know, maybe the deinterlacing. No, because it doesn't deinterlace, does it? It just, yeah, I don't know what it is then. So we're going to buy a few of these things as well. As I've already explained with them, some of them you have to equip manually. The rings automatically equip depending on what they are, and then the droplets are ether skills. We can't buy anything with anyone else because we've already. Actually, we've got a lot of class points with him, but no skill points to go with that. That's not bad. It just means hold out. Don't suddenly open a bunch of classes and expect to fill them. Just wait. Hold your horses. Basically, when you've filled one class in one level, you can then move on to the second level, and you can basically unlock all the levels by simply filling out or unlocking one class in each level. And now, obviously, with all the knowledge I know about programming, which isn't much, I now know the classes are part of programming, so it has a different meaning for me. Yay! But there's one thing I want to really buy with Chaos when I get the chance, and that is the ability to use Quick. And I don't care that I've wasted a lot of points for that, because we have a boss coming up, and I will get some C points for that later. I'll call it CP now. CP and SP, simple as, and CP is not to be confused with card points from Thingamajig. It took me a while to get. I was like, CP? Card points, yeah, that was it. But yeah, just giving Ziggy some upgrade love. But But yeah, it's good to give everyone the flame swords, because those particular ether skills allow you to infuse your attack with a certain power, and if you infuse everyone's attack with fire, enemies weak against fire, get everyone to attack with that fire element, suddenly you're building up an AC chain of fire, and you know, if you're unleashing a massive sort of stock unload on the enemy, it just gets insane. Anyway, we're just going to equip with some various stuff here. They can all equip 3 skills. This doesn't change. There's only ever 3 skills in the game, and I don't know. I don't particularly enjoy this system. I much prefer the system from the last game, and even the system from the next game. But yeah, just the person in reserve also gains HP and gains EP the longer he sits there. So it's good for the person in reserve to slowly, you know, gain. You know, you can use him to heal everyone else before you waste your active player's EP.
The outcome was decided even before the battle began.
Yes, that's his snorkel, his swimsuit, which you get by loading previous save data. That's another reason why I chose Xenosaga 2, the American version, is so I can actually use that, because the PAL version does not ask you for a previous save file, so I don't know if you unlock that or if they just give it to you at some point later on, or if they just start you off with it. But there we go.
I feel more like a combat model.
Nice
these
skill
days.
point times 4, and yeah, when we're feeling like more of a combat model, don't worry, your outfit changes soon as well. We won't be laboured with that disgusting outfit, which is basically an excuse for lolling. Yeah, that jerking, I do apologise for that. That's just the way these few videos will have turned out. But yeah, I'm looking to get put back into this project. I've been getting a bit more into Xenosaga recently as well. Just a few things in my life, maybe look at it and think, yeah, some of the things they're talking about, awesome. Anyway, we'll see you in the next part of Let's Play Xenosaga Episode 2, Jenseits from Good and Böse. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.